Coming to you from the Pacific Northwest, you're listening to the Mythic Radio Podcast.
The first time it happened, I was sleeping and woke up because I felt a hand on my leg and I realized that I couldn't move.
And he come across this object on the ground, which was the shape of a flying saucer. So he jumped out of his pickup and went down there, and there was 4 beings laying on the ground.
When I raised my head back up, I was turning my head, and out of my peripheral vision, I seen something hop to a tree. And it was tall, about 7-8 foot tall, and it was black, real hairy, like a gorilla.
The first thing we saw was this winged creature, 14-foot wingspan at least. It was huge. It almost covered half the road.
Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Nick. Today is Monday, September 25th, and this is episode 18. You can visit us over at mythicradio.com and share your own experiences by clicking on the Tell Your Story link. You can also get involved by joining our forum and by following us on social media. New episodes of the podcast air every Monday and Friday on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, and YouTube. If you'd like to support the podcast, visit patreon.com/Mythic Radio. Member benefits include ad-free episodes as well as member-only podcasts, depending on the level of support you choose. The topic of today's show has become known as the 1994 Trumbull County Disturbance. Just after midnight on December 14th, 1994, in Youngstown, Ohio, a dispatcher by the name of Roy Anne Rudolph was fielding 911 calls at the dispatch office for Liberty Township Police when she received a couple of strange calls. People were seeing something hovering in the sky over a field just off of Sampson Drive, just north of Youngstown, Ohio.
County Dispatch, may I help you?
Yeah, did you get any reports of any object in the air about 15 minutes ago?
Somebody called in, but I really don't know what that would be.
Yeah, it was very strange.
Okay.
Looked like a back end of like one of them fighter planes, like a plane coming out the back.
Okay. Was it just like moving at a slow rate of speed?
It wasn't as slowly, it was a fast rate, but it was coming down.
It was coming down?
Yeah.
Like straight down or at an angle?
Like an angle.
At an angle?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't real big in the back.
Okay.
Plane.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll check with the air base in Vienna and see if they have any report of anything in the area.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Right.
Bye-bye. 996. We have a report by CC, actually 2 calls in of a vehicle in the sky, unknown object above Sampson Drive. Have you noticed anything? County Dispatch.
Okay.
Bob, I swear to God, 4 calls in on an unidentified object over Liberty.
4 calls.
4 calls on an unidentified flying object.
Run down, take a look. All right, we'll check it out.
You want me to call the air base and see if there's anything in the area?
I'll take a look.
After the 4th or 5th call came through, she started to wonder if these people were serious or just the usual drunk dialers. In fact, she had a difficult time taking it seriously. Was there actually a UFO in her neck of the woods? She dispatched a cruiser to the Sampson Drive location and continued to field calls.
County Dispatch.
It's the Liberty Police.
Pardon me?
Am I calling the Liberty Police?
What you need, ma'am?
I wonder, did you have anyone call you about a strange plane or airplane or something in the air?
Yeah, they're checking it out.
Yeah, I just saw it on Sampson Road.
Where?
On Sampson Drive.
Okay.
I was coming down Sampson Drive. It looked like it was, I don't know what it was. It was a flying saucer or what it was. It wasn't an airplane. It was not an airplane. It was down awfully low.
Are you the same lady that called Channel 33?
No.
Okay. All right.
You must have had other calls in all the time.
Yeah, not many, a couple.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
What did it look like, ma'am?
It was like almost like an iridescent color. It was like a bluish purple. You know, it was like a long streak. It almost was like it had fire coming out of the back of it.
Okay.
You know, maybe it was, I don't know what it could have been. I know it wasn't an airplane.
Okay, ma'am, I'll let them know.
All right,
ma.
Sir, I have another report at Sampson Drive, and also we've been advised by caller to the media. Media informed us it was a blue-green object hovering, no noise. It was in the area of 5th Avenue Extension.
I'll go down. That 5th Avenue Extension just came in.
This is just in now.
Sergeant Maloro arrived on Sampson Drive and saw the light in question. He radioed back that he was going to get a better look at it.
And then he got...
See some lights. It's over 1 block from me. I'm going to try to get over there. I got to go down the street here. It's a large object, whatever it is. I just got a glimpse of it. I could see... I'm on Sampson right now. I could see it heading by 5th Avenue on the other side. I could see some lights up in that area.
Suddenly and without explanation, his patrol car completely shut off. Even the CB radio was dead, which caused a bit of panic at dispatch. At that moment, the object in the sky shined a blinding light down on his vehicle. Sergeant Malero emerged from his cruiser and watched the silent craft above him. After a short time, the unknown object moved away and his car came back to life. After collecting his thoughts, he phoned Rudolph to explain what he saw. He described it as an immense circular craft about the size of a football field, with an intense, bright light at the center. He had to shield his eyes with his hand to get a decent look at it. There were other colors visible as well. Sergeant Malero saw either blue or green. Other callers mentioned blue or purple. The bright light the officer witnessed may have been what terrified residents described as the tail flame of a jet. As eyewitness reports continued to flood the dispatch office, Rudolph called the FAA to find any plausible explanation.
Yes, sir. This is Roy Anne from Liberty Township Police Department in Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah.
We have reported some flying object in our jurisdiction, in our area, above the Sampson Drive 5th Avenue Extension area. I could not give you any kind of traffic, direction that would help you know that area. Do you know of anything that should be in our airspace this time, close to the ground?
Right
This
now,
is not a prank phone call, I swear. You can call me back to verify.
Look at the radar scope, and I go 60-mile diameter of Youngstown, and there is nothing out there.
Oh, shit.
Not even anything up high.
We've got five accounts, 5 calls in on this.
Yeah.
Something's flying in our area, and it's low to the ground.
NASA was also contacted after the incident, but again, there was no explanation. Rudolph then contacted the officers at the scene and relayed what she had learned from the FAA.
We've contacted the FAA administration, and they've advised nothing on the radar scope in a 60-mile radius of Youngstown. They did advise they have no communication with any helicopters or any private-owned vehicles, air vehicles.
They're not aware of anything then, right?
Negative. He checked the radar and advised negative, nothing on radar within 60-mile radius of the Youngstown area. Again, he did verify they have no contact with any helicopter or private-owned vehicles that might be in the area. They're continually getting calls on this, so...
At that point, Sergeant Maloro decided to pursue the craft and to not let it get out of sight. He told Rudolph back at dispatch where it was headed, and it became more and more of a challenge to follow its route. Soon, officers from the nearby townships of Brookfield, Hubbard, and Hartford were calling in with sightings. Lieutenant James Baker of Brookfield Township Police grabbed a pair of binoculars and climbed a radio tower for a better look. He saw not one, but 3 crafts, flashing red, blue, green, and yellow lights. Sergeant Maloro and several other officers from neighboring townships took chase. They followed the lights in the sky for several hours as it headed east toward the Pennsylvania border. Dispatcher Roy Anne Rudolph, not wanting to miss out, was picked up by an officer on his way to State Route 82 to head out in pursuit. Shortly after the band of officers crossed into Pennsylvania, the craft took off at an incredible speed and vanished out of sight. This is one of the most intriguing and well-documented cases of a UFO sighting in history. In total, approximately 14 police and sheriffs in Trumbull County saw the crafts that night. If you lived in the Trumbull County area in 1994 and believe that you may have witnessed these unidentified flying objects, please contact me and share your experience. Below, I have included a link to the actual 911 dispatch audio recording regarding these sightings. Guys, that's it for the show today. Tell me what your thoughts on this topic are, and like I said before, if you've experienced anything having to do with the Trumbull County disturbance in 1994, I would love to hear what you have to say about it. Leave your comments below. If you do have questions or stories, mythicradio@gmail.com is the best place to contact me, or you can do so over at mythicradio.com. Please click the follow and like buttons as well, that helps me out. From all of us at Mythic Radio, thanks for listening, and remember, don't wait for the unknown to come to you. Get out there and find it.